So I have a brother. He's 4 years younger than me. And when we were little, we would do what boys would do. We would fight, we would wrestle, we would try to beat each other up. But because I was 4 years older, that meant I was 4 years bigger. And so the advantage was always mine. When we would fight, I could always win. It didn't stop my brother from starting the fights, though. My brother would come up, he would mess with me. He would get in my space, he would hit me, he would kick me, he would do something to provoke me that would start a chase. But then my brother knew he couldn't win in a fight, so he would take off running. He would run through my parents' house and try to shut himself in the bedroom. Because if he could just get in the bedroom and put himself in front of the door and hold me out, then I couldn't get to him. I couldn't win. But I learned very quickly that I did not have to outrun him to get completely into the bedroom. All I had to do was get there, and before he could close the door, I had to put a foot in the door. Because if I could get my foot in the door, then I could slide my arm in, slide along the wall, push the door open, and make my way in, and I would win the fight. So he would start the fight. He would mess with me, but then if I could just get my foot in the door, I could win every time, even as he was trying to keep me out. The Bible calls this a foothold. And in Ephesians chapter number 4, verse 26 and 27, Paul is responding to the statement of Jesus. Jesus said, "In your anger, do not sin. Be angry and do not sin." But Paul elaborates on this. He says, "Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold." See, Paul is explaining to them that when we sin, we're provoking the devil. We are entering into his territory. We are playing games with him that we should not play. And by entering in on that sin, we are actually leaving that door cracked open so that the devil can get a foothold into our lives. It doesn't matter what the sin is. It might be small, it might be big, but when we sin, we are actually leaving the devil a foothold. We're leaving a gap in the door that's going to allow him to come in. And what happens is when we give the devil a foothold, he will use that to begin pushing that door open, coming in, getting into the room, and that foothold becomes a stronghold. So what do? Well, Paul gives the answer in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 4 through 6. He says, "The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds." Not just the foothold, but the strongholds when the devil is in the room. He says, "We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. And we will be ready to punish every act of disobedience once your obedience is complete." Sorry, having trouble reading that. Paul is saying that if we want to demolish strongholds, we have to start with the foothold. We have to change the mindsets that even lead us to enter into sin, that crack that door for the devil. We can completely shut him out, but it takes a complete repentance, a complete change in the way we are thinking, that we're not going to go near him, we're not going to touch him, we're not going to play games with him. And so we have to be ready within our own lives to punish, or to discipline, might be a better word, to discipline every act of disobedience by renewing our mind. And so listen, my encouragement to you this morning is, do not give a foothold to the devil. Don't go near him. Don't touch him. Don't initiate. Don't start the fight. Don't think I can just play a little bit with sin and then I can close the door. Don't even do that. Change the way you're thinking. Discipline yourself to stop playing games with sin, and the strongholds in your life will be defeated. God bless you.